Promotions in proud collaboration with Ariza Credit Union and GBN presents Grenada's biggest flea market at Monroe's Plainfield, Saturday 20th and Sunday 21st December, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Shop unbeatable deals on bed and curtain sets, appliances, household items, electrical and plumbing supplies, toys, Christmas decorations, clothing and shoes, perfumes and colognes, wines and drinks, and just about everything else. Plus a kids area, live entertainment, food and drink stalls. Want to be a vendor? Call 440-4646 to book your spot before they're all gone. Admission $5. 2 full days of deals and more deals. Shopping, fun and savings. Monroe's Plainfield Flea Market. Don't miss it.
Let me say welcome and good morning to our listeners and viewers. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Listeners via social media platforms, good morning to you also. Welcome. Hope you had a great weekend and you're looking forward towards a productive week ahead of us, and certainly hope that all is well with you this morning. Let me say good morning to Mr. McPhail. Mr. McPhail, good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, GT. I'm pretty good, thanks. I had a very productive weekend and I hope you can say the same.
Yeah, it's something about the house chores this weekend.
Oh, I know the usual Christmas.
You had to do it, right? I couldn't divert anyway, but stay home and do what I had to do. Wasn't really Christmas related, okay, but there's always those chores you have to do around the house.
Right.
It was left up to me to take care of that.
Okay.
So that's where my weekend really, what all is entailed for me for the weekend. So the conversation ahead, of course, the usual chit-chat that we kick off with roads in Grenada. The south of the island still poses a threat. Not really a threat, but that difficulty in terms of, motorists traversing on it. And are we going to have that all the way up to Christmas, boy?
Yeah, it seems so. And GT, I'll be honest with you, I have not passed on that road from the section from Food Fair to Kirani James Boulevard. I haven't passed there in weeks. I use the Golf Course Road.
I have noticed there's been a slight repair from the XL. Is it the XL Plaza? It's close
down to CK's.
There's been some repairs done on that, which has made a little bit easier.
Yes.
So that's a plus there. You understand? But we still notice there are areas where they still have that just before the XL Plaza. There's still that
big manhole.
That hole there. Right. I think there's a pressure testing system going on there for some reason or the other.
Pressure testing don't take so long, GT.
I
should not.
I think I noticed it there. Was it on Friday? It was there, where they have a hose connected with a pressure tester with the pressure.
Oh, okay.
Still, and I don't think it was still there up to maybe Sunday.
Well, up to yesterday, when I passed there, I saw the trench was still open.
That was since Friday.
Yeah.
But we're just hopeful that something's really be done. Because we're heading up to Christmas, and around this time of the year, there's lots happening.
Yes.
Visitors visiting the island. It's not really the best sight you want them. Although we understand the reason why it's been done.
Yeah.
We need better water supply and everything. We understand that. But some things being done in a timely manner is also very, very, very important.
But
not only, and it's also for the business sector in that particular area also.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hindrance to them in terms of folks wanting to visit their establishment and so forth.
We in Grenada, especially in the construction sector, fail to make use of the weekends.
And
so on Saturday, Sunday, you have nothing happening on that project. Absolutely nothing happens on that project. Yeah. And some other projects are wrong as well. On the weekends, nothing happens.
And which could be an easier time, could be less traffic on the roads.
Yeah, could be.
I'm saying could be less traffic on the roads. Maybe for the exception for the Saturdays, but Sundays and so forth. If you take the opportunity to do more, you could get it done because there's less folks traversing the roads. You understand?
Definitely.
It's not like folks are probably just getting things done at their home, so they're not on the road that much.
And
I'd say there's not going to be any traffic at all.
This is not a no problem, eh?
Yeah.
This is a perennial problem from way back.
I don't know. Well, something needs to be done soon. Within this week, get this project speed up, especially in terms of areas where it's causing that little bit of a bottleneck with the traffic.
Yeah.
You understand? Get that speed, because if you notice, the main hindrance is folks don't want to go into those holes there. I have to call it a hole. Folks don't want to go into there.
Yeah.
And I am seeing a lot of, I would say we Grenadians are good drivers, to a point, because we are making use of that little passageway there.
For two vehicles. I've
noticed trucks and other full-size vehicles are passing on that.
I noticed that.
Because they decided, I ain't going down in that ditch. I'm going.
And everybody wants to stay on the
Everybody wants to stay on top there. Yeah. You understand? And we're making use of it. But something needs to be done soon.
Yeah, soon.
It's becoming a little bit of a nuisance to the way it stands.
You have the dust, you have to deal with the mud to deal with.
And I noticed they've been filling certain areas with those chip stones.
So it means that preparation is being done.
Made for that. But we need to see a little more progress taking place at that. I mean, as I said, I am happy for the project. I don't think nobody is against the project.
No.
Absolutely. No one is against the project.
Absolutely.
No one is against it. But things have to know how to be done, because you have to know the effect it will cause on others. And I assume some thought has been put into it. I don't think whoever the contractor or the whoever Manawas and all of these folks didn't put the thought into the inconvenience that would be caused. They have. Maybe they didn't think about it to the magnitude that it has gotten to.
Well, you have to remember too, the volume of traffic on our roads now
has significantly increased over the years.
Yeah,
significantly increased.
So maybe when the project was planned, vehicles.
There probably was only 1,000 vehicles in Grenada. Right. Just a jokeful way, but every week there are hundreds of vehicles coming in.
Yeah,
and it's becoming a problem. Mm-hmm. My question to you: do you think anything major could be done as it stands right now in terms of controlling traffic in Grenada, from your personal point of view?
A lot could be done, GT. Maybe we may want to experiment with what is done in some of the other islands around, in terms of the number sequence.
Yeah. Somebody was telling me that they don't think that could work in Grenada.
Everything
they say the mere thought of it, they understand. I was explaining that to someone the other day, and they said, yes, they understand what I'm trying to say. But knowing how we Grenadians gravitate to things, it will be a problem. It will be a problem in terms of us gravitating to it and want to do it. We are a little bit rebellious around how we see things, especially when we are told to do things. We become that rebellious towards it. You understand? And someone telling me I can't drive my vehicle to come to town on that day, or someone telling me I can't do this. It may be a bit of a problem in terms of getting that discipline from individuals to want to do it in that particular way. It's going to take some work. It's going to take a lot of
education, a lot of public education. PR would have to be done. But I think it can work.
It can work.
It can work.
I'm not saying it can't, but I'm just saying as how we deal with things in Grenada.
I mean, you don't want to go to the level of introducing tolls. But, for example, there's absolutely no reason why somebody coming down the Western Corridor, working in Grandlands, has to pass through the city.
Yeah.
So these are little things that can be done to help control. The other thing, of course, which is maybe a long-term objective, is to create some new roads.
Yeah. Create new roads,
but that would take some doing and definitely
there's a financial implication into that also.
Big financial implication, because it would mean having to acquire lands, where the road would have to pass. It would not government lands, and I'm thinking of through the center of the island, and with tributaries going to.
I'm thinking sea-coast area roads too, if it's possible. Not damaging the areas where folks use for beaches and fishing and stuff,
right.
But sea-coast areas which would give folks that faster way of getting to the outer parishes and so forth.
Yeah. Could
be considered also.
Or we may want to resort to using ferries. It was done during after Hurricane, I think, storm surge Lenny, and persons had to get from the West Coast down to St. George's,
But no, so, you see, if we go back then, there was not a lot of vehicles on the road.
Well, yes.
The among that we're seeing today.
Yes,
if we had 10,000 or 15,000 back then, now that I've doubled and tripled.
60, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it may be I don't think most individuals would want to leave their car home and take a ferry to come to town. You understand?
Yeah.
Folks doesn't want to leave their car home to take a bus to come into town. So think about you. Folks know they're gonna be slowed down getting into the town of St. George, and they will drive. You understand? Think about that 100 cars that was not on the road, or the buses only. There will be a faster commute of the traffic. You understand? But everybody wants to drive into the town and just be in the traffic. I don't know if it's an in thing these days to just be stopping
in
traffic. Another concern before we get into our future conversation this morning. I know it's been talked about a lot, Mr. McPhail. I want to use it as the indiscriminate obstruction of the traffic by other drivers on the roads. I seriously think the traffic department and the Royal Grenada Police Force need to get out of just the talk and telling people don't do that. The talk isn't working. Telling folks don't obstruct traffic and don't park there and don't do this. That's what we've been talking all the time. We've talked about it here numerous times. It doesn't seem to be working. Folks continue to do it. I mean, folks may upset with it. I noticed this morning that one of those buses that transport the tourists, right, will just stop on the side of the road to show the tourists the cruise ship that they came out from.
Yes.
I thought that made no sense, because you obstructing the traffic in terms of the location that you stop. Right?
That happens quite a lot on the
exactly. Well, I'm talking right there. Yeah. You stop right there to show the tourists, the cruise ship that they came out. They know the cruise ship that they come out on. Yeah. Yes, maybe it's a beautiful view of where it's on our harbor. I understand that, but you have to understand the time of the morning that you're stopping there to show the tourists where their cruise ship is and how it looks in the harbor.
Peak time.
At the peak time of the morning. I mean, I thought it was senseless of the driver to think about doing that, and he actually stopped in the opposite direction. You understand? He actually stopped on the wrong side of the road in terms of the direction that his vehicle is facing. You understand? I mean, something seriously needs to be done and look into that. And I think everybody just seems to be doing what they want.
It may mean the RGPF traffic department having to acquire motorbikes or bicycles, in order to get out there and patrol. Because we don't see much of that.
I very rarely see officers on the road as before.
Yeah.
Before you used to see folks are patrolling. Yeah. I see that very minimal now. They maybe at certain indication want to stop you for your seatbelt and all of these things.
Yes.
But that constant patrolling, I don't see that much as it used to.
Yeah.
Is it because of the lack of vehicles? But then they get tons of vehicles all the time. And then I was actually driving the airport and I see everybody park up. You understand? Heading down to the police to the airport a few weeks ago. And I've noticed that garage area there is filled with a lot of the police vehicles. Either they're not working anymore or they made accidents or stuff like that.
And mind you, some of these vehicles probably is just a brake, that needs to be changed. There are a lot of vehicles sitting there.
I have noticed that a lot of them that used to be used for purpose of the police moving around, and they all parked up right there now. And we continue to see folks doing as they wish. Another thing I noticed too that seems to be checked on, and it bothered me for a wee bit. You understand? You always hear the police saying zero tolerance. If you get where you're coming from. Zero tolerance in terms of individual doing this, that would not be tolerated. But the same thing continues to happen. And they come on the program here every Thursday and they talk about zero tolerance in terms of this. There is zero tolerance. But the same thing continues to happen all the time. And you're stating folks driving around with their cell phone and that they would have a zero tolerance towards that. Folks doing this, zero tolerance towards that. I notice these bombs or whatever on Christmas. There's one time there's a zero tolerance towards that too.
But there seems to be a proliferation of that. No. Yes.
So what happened to that zero tolerance that we speak and that level of authority that they speak?
Even the resurgence of these toy guns.
Yeah.
Water guns and so on. That I remember at one time there's
a zero tolerance in terms of importation of it, and it still seems to still be imported, and folks are using it in a don't care manner.
Yeah.
So where's that zero tolerance that they speak about? You understand? Folks driving around as they want. You hear those loud mufflers and stuff. One time there was a talk about a zero tolerance in reference to that, and it happened. It still continues.
And the mufflers the guys are adjusting the vehicles, to make noise. Basically, that's what it is. So you're driving through a community, you would stop in the middle of the road and just rev up the engine.
And just rev your engine. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. There were one time buses were told that you cannot have loud music in your bus.
Not anymore.
Has that been totally forgotten now?
Not anymore, because we hear it all the time.
Is it the police just don't care about these things anymore?
Passengers would be complaining, or they knock the bus to get off, and the driver can't hear because of the loud music.
Yeah. No, it just seemed that sometimes it worries me, because it seemed like it's starting to turn into where we get in that breakdown of law and order and really having that control over things. Because things have been allowed to fester and get to a stage of deterioration too much. Folks may think we old people we talking about. You understand? I mean, when I was much younger, I kind of take the noise, but then you get to a age of understanding. It's not necessary. Yeah. It's not necessary.
You can enjoy the music without the loudness.
I have a vehicle, sir, and I have a decent sound system in it. But I alone you listen to it.
Yeah.
You understand? I don't go to the excess where I have to disturb somebody else when I'm driving.
Some guys can't even give an individual a ride.
There's no
in
back
the back seat.
Because that's their own personal preference. I understand that. If you don't want to have a back seat and put your speakers or whatever, but it has gotten to a stage where it's becoming very worrisome, where folks just don't seem to care. I mean, we kind of going a little bit extended with this morning, but I just feel we just need to talk about it. Get to a stage where folks just don't seem to care anymore. Yeah. And for some reason, the authorities, we still have to blame them to a point, is not making examples of these things, of individuals. If Mr. McPhail has got to a stage where an example is made of you, sir, or made of GT, folks are going to pay attention. But then we are seeing that no examples have been made. Yeah. You understand? Where folks are continuing to do what they're doing. And
in terms of the music, some of them, when they pass in the glass in your house, the windows are vibrating.
I have no problem you wanting a heavy sound system in your car, but don't do it at my expense. Or my inconvenience, sorry, I should say that was of my inconvenience in me. Yeah. If you want to have loud music in your vehicle, it's up to you. There are areas you could probably go in a way that there's no houses in close proximity that you want to turn up and listen how great it sounds. There's the Paul's Strip area and all of these places you could go and turn up your music.
Go down to Quarantine Point
or some area where there's minimal houses around to inconvenience people. And do it, but folks just don't seem to care. No, we are getting to a stage where folks just don't seem to care.
And the loud mufflers with the excess noise, they're not going anywhere.
There's individuals who ride scooters, and I think they deliberately takes out the muffler so that they can make noise when they're driving. Riding those little scooters. They take it out. And all you hear is that while they ride along. And they drive at excessive speed just to make that extra noise. I know we went a little bit overboard in terms of our opening this morning, but just something that we had to talk about that, because I think something needs to be done. And folks are taking it, the authorities, I still have to blame them for it, they're taking it as a joke. It's becoming a joke for the inconvenience to everyone. Becoming a joke. We're due for a break. I know the phones are going, folks want to chiming on this, but it's not a stage for the phone calls as yet. We won't take it because we do come after the break. We certainly will come back. Stay with us, folks. To the Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We're coming right back. Don't touch it down.
Megaforce Promotion. Promotions, in proud collaboration with Ariza Credit Union and GBN, presents Grenada's biggest flea market at Monroe Plainfield, Saturday 20th and Sunday 21st December, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Shop unbeatable deals on bed and curtain sets, appliances, household items, electrical and plumbing supplies, toys, Christmas decorations, clothing and shoes, perfumes and colognes, wines and drinks, and just about everything else. Plus a kids area, live entertainment, food and drink stalls. Want to be a vendor? Call 440-4646 to book your spot before they're all gone. Admission $5. 2 full days of deals and more deals. Shopping, fun and savings. Monroe's Plainfield Flea Market. Don't miss it.
Christmas is here. Let's make it a magical time for everyone. Show your kids how to celebrate responsibly. Make smart choices about alcohol and ensure a safe holiday for all. A message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. This December, the vibes will rise higher. Sunshine Promotions presents A December to Remember. On Saturday, December 20th, the National Cricket Stadium comes alive with pure reggae energy, live bands, and world-class acts. Direct from Jamaica, Anthony B. Tanya Stevens.
It is a pity you already have one.
And Junior Kelly. Gates open at 9 p.m. Showtime 10 p.m. Get your early bird general admission tickets now for $100. Advanced general $120. Or limited front of stage access early bird for $250. Advanced front of stage access $300. Tickets available now from gotofed.com and usual Sunshine Promotion ticket outlets. All tickets grant admission only. Look out for a performance from our very own Akib with his band and Valine. Food and drinks on sale all night long. Your ticket gets you in. The vibe keeps you there. A December to remember. One love, one vibe, one December to remember. Follow Sunshine Promotions on social media for more updates.
This Christmas, GBN is lighting up Grenada. From November the 10th to December the 24th, your festive season starts right here with GBN's Christmas Catalog 2025. Start your mornings with Mid-Morning Magic. Weekdays 10 to 12, live fun, giveaways, and Christmas cheer every day. On Friday, December the 5th, the school's Christmas Challenge lights up the Trade Center. 15 schools, 1 trophy, and the voices filled with holiday joy. Then on Saturday, December the 20th, it's Christmas in Kamahan. Live music, food, shopping, toy giveaway, and the grand tree lighting ceremony. And on Monday, December the 22nd, join GBN's Caroling in the City, spreading Christmas cheer all through St. George's. Every Sunday from 5 to 7, enjoy Yuletide Sundays with classic Christmas tunes and prices galore. And from December the 1st, K105's Lights of Christmas. Guess that hidden cash and win. So whether you're singing, shopping, or celebrating, do it with GBN. Connecting with you this Christmas. Our partners making it possible: Flow, Ace Hardware, Foodland Supermarket, Grenada Duty Free, Answer Coating, Banfields, and Koyawa Beach Resort. GBN's Christmas Catalog, connecting you this season.
Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers this morning. To the Point Classic Radio, GBN TV. Mr. McPhail with me this morning, and we don't have any specific subject matter this morning. Because we're gonna have an open conversation. It's maybe one program before we wrap up this for the year. So we're also going to give the opportunity to listeners if they want to chime in on this segment. Probably there's an issue they want to speak about. But we're going to continue to speak about, we ending this year on a note that lots of folks going to be unhappy about, especially with the traffic situation here in Grenada. we ending the year where it's if something drastic is not done for 2026, we're going to run into a lot of problems. You made a statement off here where you think things are becoming lawless, where individuals just seem to want to do what they want, especially when it comes to the motoring public. Everybody does feel, well, I own a car, I'm supposed to just drive it.
Right.
As I feel and how as I want. I'm supposed to just park it where I feel. I was mentioning to you, there was someone in the Tempe area going to visit one of the bakeries there, and that newly constructed sidewalk. That individual will park against the sidewalk and walk across to the bakery, obstructing the traffic without no care of other folks having to use the road, especially in a busy time of the morning or afternoon.
No, because
you have no time for traffic right now.
You have to go for the bakery.
Before you could say there's traffic heavy around 4 in the morning.
It's throughout the day.
Of the day it's busy on the road.
I remember there were times that you can leave, say, Tantine, for example, the complex, rush to Grand Dance,
and come back in less than 15 minutes.
And you come back in less than 15 minutes.
I remember, folks, I remember one time I could have left the River Road area and drive down to the airport in 15 minutes.
Right. Not anymore.
It's impossible for that to happen
anymore.
I'm telling you, from River Road to Point Celine Airport in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And not driving at any reckless speed.
No, that's normal
I'm talking
driving.
Just normal driving.
Yeah.
You could have done it in 15 minutes. Someone call you and say, oh, you forget that one is coming on the airport, so I leave and get to the airport 15 minutes and back. You understand? In 15 minutes to get there. Pick that individual up at 15, and they'll say, hey, reach already? 15 minutes. It's impossible to try that now.
GT, where I live, all right, on mornings, when I'm going to my farm, I would take 9 minutes. Sometimes 8.5 minutes. Not driving fast.
Yeah.
But during the day, if I attempt it, or in the evening time, 4 5 o'clock, it takes me half an hour.
Half an hour because of the traffic situation.
Yeah. I mean, that's how bad it is.
I think a serious plan needs to be put in place. I'm sure the authorities are hearing stories like yours and mine and other individuals around the island. They're hearing these stories. I don't think nobody is hearing these things for the first time. You understand how bad the traffic situation is in Grenada. I don't think nobody's hearing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Or it's something new to anyone. You understand? But I just think it has gotten to a stage where some serious attention needs to be put into it. You understand? What most important, and I continue to say, the obstruction part of it. Because lots of time when you see traffic are held up for any particular reason is because of an obstruction.
Yeah, because you're held up here, and after 5 minutes the traffic flows, and you wonder what was causing.
What is the reason you stop here for 5 minutes?
Right. Because you can't see anything.
Somebody stopped to talk to their partner. You understand? Somebody stopped to talk and they're blowing and they're paying, and someone is blowing them and
nobody
no attention. Don't study you. What are you blowing me for? I want to talk to him or who I want to speak to, and and that's a problem.
Even I mean, it doesn't happen very regular, but you see buses stop to get change from one another.
Obstruct the traffic.
Right. So they park parallel, and
sometimes that takes 2 to 3 minutes at a time, depending on what they want to do, or talk to someone, or someone trying to talk to someone about something.
Yeah,
you understand. So you stop, you hold up the traffic to have that communication, and you don't care who's behind you. I see someone going up the Tempe area one time, and he's driving at least 2 miles per hour, holding up the traffic to a point because he's talking on his cell phone. And he's in the middle of the road.
Okay, so nobody could pass.
Nobody could overtake him or anything. You wouldn't say, let me pull to the side and stop and have my conversation while the traffic flows. But he's driving up the road in the middle of the road. Like he lost focus of what he's doing. But he's driving in the middle of the road. And everybody's behind him. We're talking a 20 vehicle lineup behind that individual talking. After a while, he pulled to the side and then they pass. And he's there on his cell phone.
But he's on his call, so you get to Woolwich Road, or the bottom of Old Fort. Old Fort is a no entry there for particular hours of the day. Woolwich Road, it's a permanent no entry sign.
Yeah.
But you still find folks driving through. And then
there used to be no entry between 7 or whatever time. There used to be a sign.
Road?
There used to be a sign there one time in the morning.
But now the police have placed a no entry in the road.
And there are folks who still go in there.
Still go in. So you're driving and you don't expect anything coming.
Yeah.
In the opposite direction, and suddenly
something just shows up on you, and then you know that road is a bit narrow.
Yeah.
So then you have to go back. Somebody's behind you, feel they ain't going back. You know, they don't want to reverse for any reason at all, and a problem develops there one time, because then there are always some people who are living in the area parking there also.
Yeah.
Who lives in the area park there.
Right. So I mean, the parking is not an issue because, like I say, it's one.
If
way.
it's one way, it's not a problem. It may not be of an issue.
Right.
But sometimes they are parking on both sides. Eh?
Well, the double parking is another
parking
issue.
on both sides.
Yes.
You know. Yeah. I know. I just wish something for 2026 is approaching, and I want to see something different. You understand? Happening in terms of how the traffic situation in Grenada is. Something totally different needs to be done. A comprehensive overhaul of how things are done. And it goes back to the same when I said individuals need to start feeling some consequences for the foolishness that they're doing sometimes. We have a caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, JT.
Good morning to you. How are you this morning?
Not too bad, thanks. Season greetings. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you this morning?
Not too bad at all. I'm fine.
Right. Let's hear from you, your contribution.
I find it have too many vehicles in Grenada. The government needs to have a system, apparently, where they could have vehicles where they could use from port to port, stand to stand. Like you have a vehicle moving from St. George's to Grenada, or one from St. George's to Sotis, one from Sotis to where. But there is just too many vehicles. Every child leaves school, they want to have their own vehicle. Everybody leaves school, they want to have their own. So I just find we have too many vehicles in Grenada. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution there this morning. So do you understand where the caller is coming from? These days, a youngster, gets a job. First investment they make
is a car.
And it's easier to get a car these days. So
but
easy to get a car from
GT, you can't really control it. Remember, we live in a capitalist society.
I understand.
Free society. So you can't control what people buy and what they don't buy.
They show a level of affordability. They can afford it.
Yeah.
Whatever institution they go to get the finance,
they get it. And
they fit the criteria to get that whatever finance they need. So it's given to them. You understand? It's very easy to get a car these days. You know that. Very easy. We have a caller. Caller live. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Season greetings.
Same to you, sir.
Many appreciate.
How was your weekend?
Not bad at all.
Pretty good. When nobody must be strong man long in the morning, what park is what the weekend going.
All right.
Mr. The world best strongest man.
Mr. Mark Felix, yeah.
Yeah, he was the one going to was a nice call and thing.
All right.
No concern, vehicle in Grenada. I was a program on television in 1994 on Discovery Television. Japan television in the country still began by Seattle. The country polluting environment dirty. And them have a plan for 2030. Japan, England, France, all of them have plans for that. 2030, they want to get rid of all the vehicles. What they're making the parts with diesel and gasoline. They polluting the country. What they're making in their country right now is friendly environment. They're selling it to Africa and the Caribbean. You see people come here? They move to come. They're selling it all ALLL pollution vehicle what they make. But we flock in the country. Now, I listen to a program where the pastor and the big truck and thing with the road, they say the truck damaging the road. All the government to do build solid road. All the government to do with the big truck carrying the luggage and then the cement and the sand and whatnot. Build solid road foundation. But you can't be building road with more than want to put big truck on top of it. Build good roads. What did you build international airport for? To come here big plane, solid plane, big any kind of plane. Build roads for truck for traveling. Don't condemn any truck for traveling and must not be road. Government will spend money on road. Build solid foundation road with stone. Don't build more road and put a tar up and 2 meters a man pass and then he stick again, continue singing. We lock in infrastructure right now in Grenada, planning in Grenada. We ain't going to make Grenada yet. When you making tax that money, speed up in mode, government go, send me go. They ready in Grenada. They plan Grenada to go forward. Build solid foundation things.
Thank you.
Put in place lawless country. Lawless about that, you know.
Thank you a whole lot, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's time, man.
Appreciate it.
Keep moving on Grenada, man.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Let's take another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Greetings to you and the gentleman.
Same to you. Happy returns to you. Many happy returns to you, sir.
Right. Mr. GT, with all due respect to you, could you tell me the population of Grenada, please?
The population of Grenada,
120.
Yeah.
It's 120 more or less. Maybe it could be
the population
10,000 less or
right. Yeah. The population of the vehicle is much.
Last time I heard it was really around 106.
Right.
To be always around maybe about 120, give or take.
They say it's 120. That's what they say the census say. Right. But the amount of vehicle in the country is how much? The population of the vehicle.
Well,
the last figure I heard
was around 60,000. Yeah. Around 60,000.
Right, 60,000, what you call private vehicles.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a combination of all vehicles, not only private only, but a combination of all vehicles.
60,000.
Yeah.
So when you put 60,000 with the size of Grenada, and actually, you have to say actually out of 120,000 people, out of 120,000, you have 60,000 vehicles. Right, and you have to, when you subtract the smaller ones, because remember all the young ones going it, so when you subtract the smaller one, they are the big one. Where the vehicle and them going? That is the problem with the vehicle. We actually have more vehicle in Grenada. The amount of people in Grenada, the amount of vehicle, because one yard having 3 and 4 cars, and everybody want to go their own way and their own time. So there is nothing we could do than to hold up to this. Because the traffic will be thinking and it continue to grow. Because if you look at it, actually every month over 30 vehicles coming in Grenada. Right, and where they going on the road. Plus them big truck. Plus them what park up by the road. We're talking about the walking vehicle and plus those that park up by the road. Everybody, when you bring everything together, we have actually the population of Grenada with vehicles. So what could we do with a narrow road, a small country like ours? There is something in the matter besides the petrol, because everybody wants it now, and everybody wants a car. Everybody wants a car. Everybody wants this, and everybody wants to do that before a young person start to work. The first thing they could think about is to buy a vehicle.
All right, man.
You understand it?
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for all. You're blessed and have a good day yourself. Everyone understands what is taking place. But I'm not hearing solutions. We're not hearing what you call solutions to the problem. Everybody talk about the problem. Yes, we know there's a problem, but we're not hearing much of the solutions for the problem. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
GT, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Seaton's greetings. Thank you. All well. Thank you. I really echo all the information you were sharing earlier on about the lack of respect for drivers on the road, the lawlessness that we're seeing. I live in the south of the island, and religiously those guys with the altered mufflers are speeding sometimes from the CARICOM roundabout past the SSU going to the airport, and I'm saying, don't these police officers or those guys down there, don't they hear the noise? Don't they hear it? The ones with the speakers on the back seat with the actual sound system turned outwards so that when they pass, as you say, that your windows are shaking. It's so noisy. Yeah? I don't know, are we the only ones hearing it? And I suspect when the police tackle them, they'll take it out, or they know the police is coming, they'll take it out before the police officers can get to them. But it's such a nuisance. And in terms of traveling on the Grenada route, getting to St. George's is not too bad from the south. Coming back, I would advise going through Springs, Woodlands, Grenada Valley, because they have put no parking signs in strategic areas where there were bottlenecks. So you can literally get through Grenada Valley very, very smoothly. And I want to thank the people of Grenada Valley for obeying those rules, because it is a bit of a nightmare. All right?
Okay.
So, as I said, something has to be done. It just keeps going on, and we're talking, and I appreciate that the police have their hands full, but they've had new officers. I hear the trainees running up and down 5 o'clock in the morning while they're doing their exercises and stuff. Something must be done to try and tackle this traffic situation on island. And the gentleman, mentioned about ferries. I'm totally in agreement with ferries. A ferry from Wharf to St. George's and back again will cut out the poor people having to leave home at stupid o'clock to get to Sandals, for example, to work. If we had a ferry service that came from Wharf to St. George's and back again, it would help ease up some of the pressures with the traffic. And it also means that when our visitors come on island, they can go to Wharf, they can go to St. Mark's, they can get to St. Patrick's. You can't do that in a day when our visitors are on island for a specific hours. So I'm all in favor of the ferries to try and ease up some of the pressure we have on the road with so many vehicles. So thanks again.
Thank you.
And we keep talking, but I will hope somebody in the administration will take on this issue with the traffic seriously. Corporal Paul, I know he's doing his best, but it is a huge headache on the road with the volume of traffic that we have at the moment and the way the Grenada Road is in terms of the repairs. They've done from Excel Plaza going down the hill so far, but you still have that pressure testing in the middle of the road by Excel Plaza, and there's also another bottleneck next to the stones, the area of the stones. That is also a challenge. So I thank them for what they're doing. We know we need water in the south, so keep on going and keep the weekend work going. There were some people working last night, but you don't often see them at the weekend, and that is an opportunity missed. So thank you again.
Thank you. Appreciate your contribution. And the caller did make a whole lot of sense.
Yes.
A whole lot of sense. So McPhail, we drew for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we continue. We should be getting into the final segment of the conversation when we come back after the break. Don't touch it dial, folks. To the point. Classic Radio, GBN TV. We will be right back.
When you need
I'm Kenroy Batiste from GBN News. Season's greetings, everyone. Wishing you the very best for the holiday season. Spend time with each other, be good to each other, and celebrate each other. Looking ahead to 2025, my wish is for love, joy, and peace to reign in your life. Go forth, do more, and be more. You are loved.
Responsible, no sticky hands, no counterfeit, no more fighting, no drinking and driving. This Christmas time, we don't want no crime. This Christmas time, we don't want no crime. This Christmas time, we don't want no crime. This Christmas time, bring in the guns, the knife, the cutlass, all the weapons. Christmas is the time for loving. I, Super Flint, endorse this one to the fullest. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. No crime, no crime, no crime, no crime, no crime.
Let peace be the trend, a season of love and goodwill to all men.
Welcome back to our listeners and viewers. We have the final about 10 minutes or so left on today's edition of To The Point. And of course, we're having a bit of a generalized conversation this morning. That's where the conversation lies this morning. So the lines are open, 435-2041. We do have a caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning, welcome.
Morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning, sir.
And to Mr. McPhail.
Good morning, sir.
Happy Feast of the Nativity.
Same to you.
First, let me commend your last female speaker there on some very significant points. You see, I continue to believe that within the people organized, there are solutions to the problems of the country. But when you see demagogues take over and they want to do everything for their own personal aggrandizement and their quote-unquote popularity, they mess up everything. Your previous discussions, all your discussions earlier before you open the line, manifests crystally clearly that Grenada is quote-unquote a failed state. That's exactly how you define a failed state. Everybody do what they want. Even the law, even the lawyers, even the members of the parliament, when they get into this parliament of this country and pass these laws, define violating the Constitution, Section 1, and dismembering it totally, pardon. This is a failed state. Can we correct it? Yes. All the matters you raised and more, brothers and sisters, including the comments made by the sister, can be, and that is precisely what the Constitutional Congress, Convention, or assembly, as it was known and still known as, but in modern times in sociology it is called constituent assembly. That is what it does. It brings a people together to debate the failures, the successes, and in this discussion they reach a consensus to create the laws for which the country will be governed into the future. This is what we need in this country. If we don't, this, what you talked about here today, shall come again, deja vu. Every year the same thing, and it's getting worse. As to the traffic, I want to make a statement on it. Listen, the government, the state, cannot tell you not to buy a cutlass. But they tell you that if you're walking within the road, you have to have it wrapped. And they will come down, the state will also come down on you if you decide to use it not as a tool, agricultural tool, but you decide to use it as a weapon. That tells you that the state has control. The state cannot tell the people of this country not to buy cars, but the state can tell you how to use, and they have full authority to tell you how to use it on the roads of the country, which they are responsible for, with a concession. That is why you pay a license for driving. That is why you pay insurance on the vehicle. That is why you pay vehicle license. The state has control, and therefore the state has control on the problem that we have developed. The state has, but how can that happen? That can only happen when the people responsible for how the laws are made in this country take their full responsibility for it. This is why, brothers and sisters, we have to refound this nation. In other words, we have to reset. Put that into your smoke and pipe it over the Christmas season as you drink your booze and your old talk. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Do have a nice day, will you?
Thank you, sir. Have a good day yourself. Have a good day yourself. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. You're live. Good morning. Welcome. WhatsApp caller. Good morning. You're live. Guess the WhatsApp caller is not with us. Let's go back to this caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you
Good
guys,
morning
and all the best for the season. I missed the earlier part of the conversation, so I'm not sure what the theme was. But I've gathered from a previous contributor that they're talking about the traffic problems and so. I don't know if I have a solution, but I can see a problem brewing, or I would say a trend that will make this situation even worse. No, I don't want anybody to say that what I didn't say. I'm not saying that everybody in the state should not be entitled to have a vehicle if they can afford it. I'm not saying that at all. It is good for any family where they have that freedom and they can go where they want to, when they want to. So, does everybody need to have one? Probably the answer is no. But we have a situation, a policy. I won't say the policy went wrong, but it has had unintended consequences. When the decision was taken, the policy of giving concessions on hybrids and electric vehicles, it was meant to encourage, be an enticement to persons who are planning to buy a car to choose a hybrid or electric option. It was never intended to enable people who are not planning to buy cars to have cars. Do you understand where I'm going with that?
Sure.
That was not the intention of the policy. Although I don't know, we have so much of a problem with pollution here compared to the rest of the world, not the global warming. But what has happened? The concession on the hybrid and electric has enabled many people who hitherto would not have been able to afford a car now to afford one. And it's all good, and it's good for them. But we're having now an influx of vehicles that we would not have had before. It is also creating a problem for people with regular internal combustion engine cars, because the hybrids and so are so cheap that it values it lowers the value of your other car. You may have two cars identical. One is a hybrid. It came in so much cheaper. So your other car, which is not a hybrid or electric, suddenly has lost value. Plus, the government, we have a lot of cars coming in, a lot of turnover at the port, but because of the concession, the government is not making money. It's not making much money. So a lot of foreign exchange is going out. The same amount of foreign exchange is going out for the car, because over there is the same thing for the car in Japan. It's only when it gets here the government charges less. So more foreign exchange is going out now. The government is collecting less on the port, and we're having a problem on our hands with congestion, exponential congestion on our roads. So, good policy, unintended consequences. So something I believe has to be done at some point in time to address that. We had a drive around the island yesterday for many reasons, and when we got back home, my wife remarked something. She said, we never ever had to park our car on the road. Never ever, from the time we've been owning cars. And she observed the problem with parking everywhere. And we got back home, she said, thank God we never ever had to park our car on the roadside. Because every roadside now is filled with cars. So it's something that we have to think about. It's something the government may have to look at. But I see this mushrooming and becoming and complicating the problem we have with congestion and parking and so on our roads. I don't know if you understand where I'm going with this.
You'll shoot you, sir. Certainly do so.
So have a wonderful day.
You too. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Let's see if this works this time. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I think it was a problem on my side the first time. Go right ahead, please.
The reality is this. When Grenada is known as the south of the island and the town of St. George, you must have a problem. There is no traffic congestion in St. Patrick East. There is no traffic congestion in St. John. Problem is that when you have businesses like banks easily giving loans for cars rather than business development, you got a problem. When you have banks and other businesses choosing to set up their business in Grenada, which is the south of the island, and St. George only, you got a problem. The problem is not just the number of vehicles on the island, it's more than that. And therefore, when the government itself chooses to put all its ministries, for whatever reason, over the last 40 or 100 years, in St. George only, as though all agriculture is taken in St. George, you got a problem, and you got to think outside of the box. Quite rightly, when you're driving a vehicle, you get a license, so the government has control. When a contractor has an excavator, he does not park it on the road. He has to park it in some premises somewhere. Therefore, the government needs to institute rules and regulations that if you own a car, you probably need to park it in your veranda on top of your house. That may sound ridiculous, but that's what the government has to do. The road is not made for parking vehicles. The road is used, the purpose of the road is for people to move and to travel, not to park vehicles. So if people want to park their vehicles, then the government has a revenue stream there. Charge people for parking their vehicles on the public road, in public spaces that taxpayers has to pay to build and to maintain. It is not that difficult. And to ease the traffic problem, the government can simply put a rule in place. On a Monday, you have odd numbers for vehicles. Or you do it simply. You have even numbers on a Monday. On a Tuesday, you have odd numbers. All other vehicles pack up and find another place, except for public transportation like buses. And the solution is there. We don't need no rocket scientists to solve it. We need to wake up and realize that businesses contribute to it because they concentrate themselves in a certain place. For example, banks, you don't have, how much banks you have in St. John? You had one, it's no longer there. All the people have to leave now and go elsewhere to do the banking. So the problem is not just the number of vehicles, it's more than that. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your contribution. We do have another call, which will be our final caller for the morning. We have to take a wrap. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Listen, I don't know why one or two individuals think that they should dictate to anybody whether they could own a vehicle or not. It is their right. They have a right to own a vehicle, and that would solve its problem. Let me tell you something. If I own a vehicle, I have a right, and I know how I'm going to put it, park it, where I'm going to park it, and what I have to do. It's the responsibility of the owner. So nobody should tell the government or anybody to import less cars or whatnot. That is not their right. The individual have a right. And the people who are saying that they own cars, think of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, caller. And that was our final caller for the morning. We are a little bit after the 10 o'clock already, just around 6 minutes after 10. Mr. McPhail, we're getting to the close of today's edition of To The Point. Anything you want to say in closing? We had some contributions this morning that
very
were very
good contributions. Very interesting contributions. It shows that people are very observant.
Yeah.
You know, and the problem is there. We just need to find solutions.
Yes.
You know, yes. We can't just push the problem under the carpet.
So
we know there is a problem.
I hope for 2026 we're going to see a difference in terms of how these things are done or taken care of.
And we must say as well, nobody at any point in time said that the government must regulate how many vehicles come in, or to tell you where to buy and not to buy and all of that. You know,
but it's just that there should be an issue where you should know where you have to park your car when you buy a car.
Because you have new roads being created Street, for example, Moline, that is now a parking lot. You know, that you have, for example, in Gulf Coast, there was a corner where one vehicle could pass at a time. It was extended, and the extension has now become the parking lot.
All right. Eddie, Mr. McPhail, it's always a pleasure to have you on the program, sir. I'm not sure if we're going to have a program next week, but if we do, we'll continue the conversation once again.
Sure.
So our listeners and viewers, thank you for contributing towards today's program. Thank you so much. Until another edition, hopefully tomorrow I'll be here with you. Have a good one. That's what we say goodbye for today. Goodbye, folks.